Good morning, everybody. This is Todd Collins. I'm here with my partner in crime, Bob Reed, my partner in life, Julianne Collins, and one of the people that has become a very dear friend to Julianne and I, and now to Bob and all of you as well. One of our founding members of ELYT, Jake Kevorkian. Jake and I had the privilege of meeting each other virtually about 2 years ago. In person, what, Jake, about a year ago, I guess we were down in Florida visiting you
Yep.
and had a great dinner. Great. I had an immediate alignment of values, personality. Sometimes you get around people and you're like, I don't really know what it is, but I don't really click with that person. With Jake, it was the exact opposite. Working with him virtually for a year over the phone, on Zooms, whatever, I knew we had something special. But the friendship kind of went to a whole nother level with this last trip that we just went on, able to spend more time. I'm an ex-Army guy. Most of you know Bob is ex-military as well. But you want to be in the foxhole with people you want to be in the foxhole with. People that you can trust. They know you know they got your back. They know you got they know you have theirs. And Jake is somebody I can candidly say, since the launch of ELYT, which isn't even 90 days yet ago, March 2nd was I guess the formal pre-launch. We've had some time where we've been in the trenches, right, Jake? There's been a couple turbulent times and some battles we had to fight through. Man, those of us that are on this side of it already, we're seeing massive opportunity and massive success. So I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your Saturday morning to be here today. Many of you that are on here right now were with us on the first ELYT Traincation. And the purpose of this call, Jake asked me to put this together for our team and our couple prospects that are here. Welcome to you guys as well. Talking about stuff you don't understand yet. Don't worry, you will soon. But Jake asked me to put together a call so that he could kind of go over some of the things we discussed in Jamaica at the traincation. Guys, the firepower of leadership on this team is absolutely mind blowing. Just real quick before I turn this over to Jake, as I go through the leadership team that they've put together here, Jake is one of the founders. He's got a very good friend who's another one of the founders. Um, Alex Morton is one of the founders. Alex is, I think that Jake, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the top earner in the world in network marketing over the last decade. Um, and hang on one second, I gotta do something here real fast. Um, Top income earner in the world. I don't even remember how much money he said he's made, but he's amassed a massive team in one company. I think 90,000 people. That company went through some changes, went someplace else, grew again. He is an incredible person at 36 years old. He is just very inspirational. DJ Barton, our CEO, who we got to spend some time with. Jake and I have also been in the trenches with him off and on through some of the bumps that we had at the beginning here. And it's just, I just sat there, Julianne and I did, in awe of the group of people that have come together in this leadership team. And Mark Cassetta, one of the top trainers in the world, spoke at the event as well. He's very well connected to this group of people. We have an amazing opportunity in front of us. And I knew that back on March 2nd. I've seen the trajectory that we're on over the last 45, 50, 60 days, whatever it's been, and I've gotten more excited every moment. But sitting there in Jamaica in the training room with Bob Reed and George Donaldson and their spouses and who else was there? The monks were there. Um, just looking around the screen to see who other quarterbacks were there. Many of us were in that room together, Ron Kitchens, and I think everybody here that's on this call today will tell you we walked away from that meeting with a very clear understanding that this may be, and in my opinion, it is the most special thing that I've ever seen in my life, the most incredible opportunity, the best leadership team, and an incredible compensation plan. And it was all of those things before we went to Jamaica. And as I turn this over to Jake now, we're going to see that it even got considerably better. There's just so much more now that we have to offer with this membership. And without further ado, I will introduce my friend and founder of ELYT, Jake Kevorkian.
Well, thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. And yes, it's been a pleasure hanging out and getting to know you guys better as well. And one great thing about what we do, and I know we've got a few guests on here, so I'll take 5 minutes or so and give you guys like a sort of an overview of what Elite is all about if you're here for the first time. And then after that, I'm going to give you guys an update of the incredible trip that we just came off in Jamaica and some of the new announcements that were made there. But what, as Todd was saying, that one of the things about what we do, in my opinion, that is so amazing is we bring people together. We're building. I say it all the time. We're currently building. We just launched about 90 days ago, but we are currently building what will end up being the largest travel community in the world. And we're giving people better options of travel. We're teaching people and showing people how to travel for wholesale instead of retail. And in some cases, an example would be this last trip we got back from Jamaica, way below wholesale. Okay. So we're bringing people together in this travel community. We're teaching them how to, travel for less money, travel for wholesale instead of retail. And I'll get into that a little bit. But for those of you that don't know me, I've been in the direct sales network marketing industry for 40 years. I found this industry when I was 19 years old. And like many of you, I saw an opportunity to create a residual income. At the time, all I knew was trading time for money. Um, I didn't know that there was another way to generate income other than me trading my time for someone else's money. And, again, like many of you, when I realized how incredible this industry was, when I realized that anybody from any background with any type of experience can be successful in this type of industry if you follow a proven plan of action set out by others before us, I got really, really excited about it. Okay. And this is all I've done for the past 40 years. I've been a top rep, I've been a consultant, I've owned two companies prior to Elite, but never, ever have I been as excited about what we have in place as what we're doing right now with Elite. We, as Todd said, we launched 90 days ago, and in just that short little period of time, we've got well over 1,000 people that have already joined our community in about over 50 different countries now. Okay. I don't know, 51, 52 different countries around the world. So again, we're building this global travel community. And Todd and Bob and some others of us that were on this trip this past weekend, we had an opportunity not only to come together and meet people and hang out and bond with like-minded people from the United States, but from all over the world. We actually had a dozen or so different countries represented on this trip this past weekend. So for the guest here that don't really know anything about Elite, our foundation product, okay, and we've got a full presentation we can show you. I'm not going to get into all of the details here, but our foundation product is a wholesale travel platform. And the easiest way to explain this is many of you have booked travel on Expedia, Priceline, Kayak, Trivago, some of the online booking engines where you go to your phone, you download an app for free. That's normally how we book travel, right? But when you do that, you're paying what would be considered a retail price. Okay. When you download an app for free and you book a hotel, you are paying a markup from wholesale to retail. So they're making money every single time you ever book any travel at all. What we do is we offer the exact same inventory. We've got all the same inventory as all the big guys, the Expedias and the Pricelines and the others. But we sell that inventory, we sell those hotels, those rental cars, et cetera, at a wholesale price. So think of Costco, right? You pay a membership fee in order to get those products at wholesale. That's what we're doing with travel. Um, so in exchange for a monthly subscription fee, you're able to book all of your travel at true wholesale prices. Now, in addition to that, we also offer what we call elite experiences, which are trips very similar to what we just came off in Jamaica. I'll explain the difference, but elite experiences are trips that we're curating. And when I say curating, the entire experience that includes a welcome reception, different activities throughout the time, private dinners, possibly excursions, things of this sort, where the entire trip is curated for you, sold to you at an incredible price. In fact, just to give you an example, this trip to Jamaica, we had we had 60 people that we had more than 60 there because some people just wanted to go and they bought it anyway. But the elite discount that we offered to 60 individuals was $250 per person, less than the best online price you could find. Okay, so think about that. $250 less. Now, let me explain that not only was it $250 less than the best online price you could find for that particular resort on those exact same days, but we had a welcome reception. We included airport transfers to and from the hotel. We had a private reception. The first night we had a little cocktail party, reception party, hors d'oeuvres, and that sort of thing. We had a pool party. And this particular trip, we had about 4 hours of training for some of our affiliates that are helping us build this trip. So, two types of trips that we offer through Elite experiences and elite traincations. The only difference in the two is the traincations also include a half day or in some cases a full day of training. But again, at incredible prices, below wholesale type pricing, okay, for these trips. So a wholesale platform that you can book your everyday travel on and the excursions that we're talking about and discounts on things that we're doing throughout our days, like going to concerts, sporting events, going to the movies. We have daily deals inside there where families can save money on things that we're already spending money on. Okay, so we're delivering this private experience, this private travel club, if you will, and building this large community. So that's just kind of a quick background on what we do. And again, take a look if you're at all interested in what we're doing. I would suggest you take a look at a full presentation, talk to Todd, Bob, or whoever else put you on this call. I'm more than happy to set up another call and talk to you in great detail. But I wanted to just take a few minutes and first off, I really appreciate you guys being here. I mean, we've got over 50 people on this call on a Saturday morning. I'm just grateful
Last
that
minute.
last minute, yeah, last minute. And I'm grateful as one of the founders, I'm grateful that you guys, see the vision of what we're doing. And as Todd said, as with any brand new company, we had a couple little glitches there that we dealt with in the very beginning, and we're making our way through that. But here's the thing about these types of businesses, timing and positioning is everything. And we talked about it this weekend. When a great opportunity comes along, you first have to recognize it. Okay. And you guys have obviously done that. The second thing you have to do is take action, right? It's one thing to recognize, hey, that's a great opportunity. The other thing is, are you going to take action? Look at Bob's button. How perfect is that? Now, see, that doesn't say the easy button. It says take action. I love that. So you guys that are here, you recognize an opportunity and you took the action, and I appreciate that. And again, I am literally as convinced and as sure as I can possibly be with 40 years of experience in this industry that we are building the largest travel community in the entire world. And I know that we've got a product that's unlike anything else. Okay. There's a lot of great companies and great products in this industry. I am a consumer of many. If you could see my cabinet behind me over here, I am a consumer of many great direct sales products. In my opinion, they're the best products in the industry. That said, we are selling what I believe is probably the most important thing in the human experience, which is we help people create memories. And we talk about this all the time. At the end of our lives, whenever that is, hopefully it's later than sooner, right? But at the end of our lives, I believe we're going to look back and the thing that we're going to be reflecting on, talking about, and feeling are the past experiences that we created, the memories that we created, the trips that we took, the time that we spent with friends and family, the time that we spent with friends like this past weekend and some of the memories that we created. And those types of things, in my opinion, are more important than anything else. And that's what we're doing. We're bringing people into this travel community, and some people choose to build a team. Some people want to make money with it. Others just want to be part of the community, and that's fine. I mean, we've got a lot of customers in our company that want the discounts on travel. They want to be part of that community. They want to be part of these curated trips that we're putting together and have an opportunity to purchase some of those curated trips, but they have no desire to make money, and that's fine. Then again, we've got a lot of people, many of you on this call this morning, that are doing this as a business and want to make money. And I will say this, Todd mentioned the fact that we've got this young man in our company named Alex Morton. And in the last 10 or 15 years, there's nobody in this industry that has made more money than Alex Morton. Okay. So if there is a Tom Brady of the network marketing industry, it's Alex Morton. He is the GOAT right now. There's no question about it. For the last 15 years, he's been more relevant and more influential than any other individual in the entire world. Okay.
Hey, Jake, I think it's important to note something real
Yep.
quick here about him. So this guy came from pretty much nothing. Average parents. He went to university out in Arizona, which you could get into with a pulse after he'd been rejected everywhere else that he wanted to go. He was on paper, whatever I think he said, a 2.8 GPA. Nothing spectacular on paper, but he believed. And he had a different approach to breaking the matrix of just go to college and incur a bunch of debt and then spend the next 40 years making money for the man and retire with just enough to barely get by. He looked at that and said, like in fourth grade, I think he told me this was not the plan for me, and I knew it. But what he did at 21 years old when he got into the network marketing arena, and he's 36 years old today, is he started investing in himself. He started listening to the greats that were out there, the Jim Rohns, the Maxwells, the you name it. He had a list of mentors a mile long that he couldn't afford to hire, right? But he found a way to get where they were and get around them and draw off of them. Reading all the books. Back then there wasn't a YouTube, but there is now. And what I was going to say is the most important thing about him is that he said to me a couple of different times in a couple of different ways is if you want to change what you have in life, you start by changing. You have to be different today than you've ever been if you want something different tomorrow than you've ever had. And these are cliches that have been around forever. These aren't epiphanies. But it finally dawned on Juliana and I, we need to do some big things in our life. We have many goals and aspirations that we want. And where I'd like to kind of wrap this up before I turn it back over is at this traincation, guys. If you missed it, I'm sorry. I really am. For those of you who were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. People like Mark Aceta and Alex Morton charge $50,000 or more to speak for an hour at a graduation party or a corporate event. And we got to spend hours with them included for free as part of our traincation, right? So for under $500, Julianne and I had this great experience each, 500 piece, give or take, great experience each, that stuff Jake talked about already. But sitting in there for whatever it was, 6 or 7 hours of training with Jake Kevorkian, Alex Morton, Mark Aceta, on and on and on, DJ Barton, our CEO, one after other of them. And I say this, Jake, and I know you're a humble guy. These are the people that have led this industry at the top of the game, top 10 earner in another travel agency in the past, travel company in the past. So we have greatness all around us. And when you have an opportunity going forward to miss a traincation, don't do yourself that favor. You're shooting holes in your boat. Be at these events. We're going to build on this one that we just had. And everybody that's on this call, I hope when they announce the next one, which I think is coming out June 2nd, that the first thing you book into your how am I building the business expense is that. Don't miss these. They're just too valuable. Sorry, Jake.
Very, very well said. I mean, that is a big part of our mission is helping people become better in life, right? Just become better. And it's like Todd's right. I mean, at this point, all these years later, some of these things have become cliche, but they're also very, very true. Like it is true. Like, we want to become the best version of ourselves, no matter what. Even if you're not building this business, if you're a customer here and you're not even building the business, you can benefit from these events because you have an opportunity to hear from some of the greatest people in that personal development world. As Todd said, no kidding, these guys get up to $50,000 an hour to go speak for other organizations. That's part of our company. Mark Aceta is part of our company. He's our director of training. Alex Morton is in the field, in the trenches with us, and you know, nobody has worked on themselves more than Alex Morton. Okay, going back to like Todd said in the beginning, 21 years old, he had three buddies in his dorm room. He found out about network marketing. He and those three guys went out and built a team of over 100,000 people in 24 months. Okay, and he did that by working on himself. If we want, and we talked about this weekend, I'm not going to turn this into a training, but let me just like take off what Todd just said there. You know, we have to become the person that we want to attract in our business. Okay. We have to become the person that we want to attract. We all want to attract A plus prospects into our business, right? Well, you have to become that A plus person. The better you get, the better quality of people that you're going to be able to attract. The better you get, the more influence you're going to have on people. The better you get, the more credibility you're going to have with people. And I agree 100% with what Todd said. We are committed to do one of these traincations. Now, we're going to do other trips, okay? And we're going to announce a couple more trips next week in London at our event in London on May 30th. But these traincations that we are specifically talking about, we're going to be doing one per quarter. And I'm going to be at all of them, okay? And I suggest that you guys go to as many of them as you possibly can. But but let me do this. Let me take just a couple minutes and I want to update you guys because, again, as you know, 90 days ago we started. And, we've had up until this point, we've had one product and one monthly subscription at $175 per month. And one of the things that we quickly realized is as we're growing globally, like I said, we're in over 50 different countries right now. There are some countries that we're currently doing business with that, $175 is just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just out of reach for a lot of people in some of these other countries. So what we've done is we've added a couple of brand new memberships, brand new subscription priced memberships that we are introducing starting June 2nd. These will go live on June 2nd. And I want to talk about those. Todd, do you have that image I sent you?
Of course.
Okay,
Far away.
okay. So here we go, guys. So up until now, if you look at the far right-hand side of your screen, the ELYT Platinum membership for $175 per month has been all we've ever offered. Okay. Now, if you notice, each one of these membership levels has a one-time fee. The reason we did that, let me explain. When we launched the company, we had a program where if you went out and you enrolled three people in your first 30 days, you received a $175 quick start bonus. But that was it. It was just for 1 month. It had to be your first 30 days and you had to enroll three people. And it was $175. What we learned from listening to a lot of our leaders is they wanted an opportunity to earn a quick start bonus on each and every sale, not just for 30 days, not only if I get three in 30 days, but on every single person I enroll every single month forever. So we added these one-time fees to each of the membership, and I'll start on the far left because that's the product that we've known up until this point. The ELYT Platinum membership is a one-time fee going forward of $250. Out of that $250, you as the affiliate will earn a one-time quick start bonus of $75. Okay. Now, the ELYT Platinum includes everything that it has included in the past. Now, let me go back and start at silver. Let's go back over to the far left side here. The ELYT Silver is one of our brand new membership levels. You notice it's got a one-time fee of $99. It's a one-time activation fee of $99 and $49 per month. Now, that $49 per month gives you access to our travel platform, and you can book hotels only. Okay. Hotels only, which, by the way, let me just say this is about 90% of the bookings that we get on our platform. So when I say hotels only, it's not only, it's you get access to a global bucket of inventory all over the world, just like booking on Expedia, that you can book at wholesale pricing for $49 a month. So you have access to the platform. You're able to come to our elite experience trips and our elite traincations that we just touched on. But as a silver member, you do not get a discount. You're going to pay what you would pay if you booked it yourself. Quite honestly, you're going to pay what I would call like the average internet pricing. So for an example, this past trip in Jamaica, if you were a silver member, you would have paid full price. Okay, whatever that average, whatever you could book that for on your own is what you would have paid. Now, as an Elite Platinum member, again, you got a $250 discount. As a Silver member, you can come to all of our events. You just don't get the discount. Okay. And you don't have access to car rentals. You don't have access to cruises, the tickets to entertainment. You don't have access to the airport lounges or the resort weeks. But it's a great place for some people to start. So we've got the Silver Elite, again, $99 activation fee, $49 a month. The Elite Gold, which is the second new membership level that we've added, is a one-time activation fee of $150 and it's $99 per month. Now, as a gold member, you also have access to the platform, book all your hotels. And as a gold member, you're going to get 50% of the total discount that we offer. Todd, hang with me, buddy. I got to plug my computer in.
No problem. Well,
You get
Jake,
you get 50% of the total discount that we offer on that particular trip. So to give an example, I'll go back to Jamaica. If you were a platinum member, you got a $250 discount. If you were a gold member, you would have gotten a $125 discount on that trip. Okay. So you get a discount, just not the full discount. You also have, you're able to come to the signature traincations, again, 50% discount. And as a gold member, you have the ability to go and have access to the community benefits, the car rentals, the cruises, and tickets and entertainments. You do not have access to the resort weeks and you do not have access to the airport lounges. Okay. That's Elite Gold. And again, Elite Platinum, that's where I am. That's where all of you are because we all started before there was an option. We are all at the Elite Platinum and we have full access to everything, including the 100% discount on Elite Traincations and Elite experiences. Okay, so again, not to beat a dead horse, but in Jamaica, $250 discount was the best we offered. You would have access to that entire $250 discount. Now, again, let me stress this because imagine purchasing that trip to that incredible resort, Ocean Coral Springs Resort in Jamaica, all inclusive. I thought the food was amazing, the experience was amazing, the resort was very classy, very high end. The beaches behind the resort were beautiful. You know, you could go online and book 3 or 4 days at that resort all by yourself. But imagine getting a $250 discount and having airport transfers to and from the airport, which by the way are not cheap. I think it's like $140 round trip on the transfers. That was included. Welcome reception included. Private pool party included. Okay, the training again from some of the top people in this industry included. So these are incredible values that we're offering people um, with all three of these memberships, but certainly the most value by far is with the Elite Platinum. Now,
Jake,
yes, sir.
real quick on that. So Julianne and I decided to go a couple days early. So I think that $250 you're saying as a discount is still even better than what normal people would pay, and here's why. So the trip was, correct me if I'm wrong, $699 is what it was for the basic trip, right? We upgraded to a poolside room, which was another $300 or something like that for the 4 days. I think it was about 900, just under $1,000. And I'm ballparking on that. But when we wanted to upgrade for those 2 days or add on those additional 2 days, it was $500 a day for us to have the all inclusive for the 2 days, but $500 a day more. So by my math, it would have been $500 a day. If I did that for 4 days with the traincation, that should have been $2,000, and we only paid, it was less than 1,000 for our 2 day or our 4 days. So that, I think that $250 discount is even above and beyond what you'd find on the best of the elite opportunities. But that elite platinum you talked about a second ago includes those resort weeks. I don't know if you're planning on touching on those, but I think it's very important for the people who are here as guests. Why don't you just highlight for a minute what a resort week looks like as far as an experience and the cost?
Yeah, that's a great point. So the resort weeks that we have access to, it's basically unsold and unused timeshare inventory. Okay. So what does that mean? We all know the timeshare industry is huge, right? We
Yep.
also know that a lot of people that buy timeshares end up not having the greatest experience. They're very, very expensive on the front end. You're locked into a contract for life. You have these fees that go along with it that they can increase every single year, and you have no control over it. I don't want to belabor the point, but we all know that a lot of people that have gotten locked into timeshares have had nightmare experiences. What if you had access to timeshare inventory, unsold and unused timeshare inventory for pennies on the dollar with no contract, with no long term obligation, with no annual
Fees.
fees, nothing. You just book it when you want. We have over 3,000 different properties on these resort weeks that you can go and book for pennies on the dollar, starting at like $297 per week. In fact, my business partner, DJ Barton, our CEO, um, 8 or 9 months ago, took one of these trips to Lake Tahoe. He got a one bedroom unit on the lake in Lake Tahoe, probably a 3.5 or 4 star resort. It wasn't the Four Seasons, but it was nice, right? For an entire week, $297 for
Yeah.
the entire week.
Yeah. And we looked at these. We've been looking at them a lot because we're trying to book a whole bunch of travel in the future. And it was things like Costa Rica for $357, Punta Cana for $370, Canary Islands we actually found for $300, and the best one I've seen so far, I forget what part, but somewhere in Spain, it was $212 for a week. So I started looking. I went to the resorts themselves, and like let's just use the 357 that we saw in Punta Cana. You could only get 2 nights at that resort for $357 booking online or that resort. But we are getting 357 for the whole week. These are incredible deals. So when Jake talks about these three different levels, you literally, so silver's fantastic. I think you made a great point. Perfect for out of the country. Price point of a couple $100 a month does not work into people's budgets that are only making $600 a month. Get it, right? But those people deserve a right to travel and have some benefits as well. The gold is a fantastic one for maybe younger people. But if you're an average American making a decent living, what you get for that extra $100, extra $76 a month, technically with the platinum, is light years ahead of where that gold membership is. And you didn't touch on, Jake, you brushed on with the Elite Platinum that whenever I sign up a new member with that 250 one-time fee, I get a little spiff that day, right?
You do. I
How much
touched
was that
on that, I
again?
think. Yeah, I did touch on that, I
You
think.
said that one, but you didn't say the other two.
Yes, I'm sorry. When you enroll a gold member, you earn a $50 quick start bonus, and when you enroll a new silver member, you earn a $25 quick start bonus. So again, silver 25, gold 50, and platinum 75. And again, what's cool about that is before you could only earn a quick start bonus in your first 30 days, and the most you could ever earn is $175, and you had to enroll 3 people in your first 30 days. This is every single time you enroll somebody on an ongoing basis. So, and let me just say this, and I'm glad you brought up the resort weeks, Todd, because I want to just say one more thing about that. There is a company that a friend of mine and Todd both, it's a mutual friend. I think you know him. Anyway, there's a platform. Okay, it's not our platform, but it's the exact same It's the same platform we're using, branded to another company, okay? And they're marketing this platform in the timeshare industry world where they get people into a room and they pitch them on what we're talking about right here, okay? They are selling that for $7,500 on the front end and $489 per year to renew. $7,500 on the front end. Now, the way they're able to do that is they're talking to people who have shown an interest in timeshares that were expected and ready to spend 20 or 30 or $40,000 to have access to this. My point is, this is a company that's doing about $3 million per month in sales, selling this platform for $7,500 that we have access to for $250 activation fee and $175 per month. But here's the best part about it, and this is a brand new announcement as well. Moving forward, starting June 2nd, once you've enrolled four people, four, at your level or higher, your membership is now FREE. Okay. So not only do we have access to these incredible deals, but just go out and refer four people at your level or higher, and you no longer pay that monthly membership. It becomes free to you. Okay.
Let me
So
get this straight. I get four and I pay no more.
you get four and you pay no more. That's a good way to say it.
Wow. And wait, let me ask one more question while we're on that. Of those four, if I work with them and get them each their four, they pay no more. This doesn't just
Correct.
stop with me. That's everybody, correct?
That's correct.
Huh. That
So
doesn't seem hard to duplicate.
to be clear, if you're an elite silver, and you get four elite silvers, your membership is free. If you're an elite silver and you get four platinums, your membership is free. If you're an elite silver and you get four golds, your membership is free. Now, if you're a platinum member and you get four silver members, your membership is not free. You've got to get four at your level or higher. Okay.
Yep.
And, I'm telling you guys, with the tools and resources that we have available, the presentations, the help from some of the leaders on this call, it's not hard to go find four members. Okay. So, what I would do is if you're part of this company, you want to go out and get your four as soon as you possibly can and get those membership fees waived. So these are the new membership levels. We've got the new quick start bonuses that are ongoing every single month on an ongoing basis. And we've got the ability to earn the membership for free. Now, I'll tell you, and I mentioned this past weekend in Jamaica, but for those of you that have grown children, adult children, or children at any age, probably, to be honest with you. I mean, Bob's got kids. Anybody on here probably can relate to the fact that sometimes your kids, your children, are the hardest people to impress, right? They're just not that impressed with mom and dad sometimes, right? Well, I've got my daughter on this platform. My daughter's 35 years old. She has my older grandbaby's 18 months old, and she and my son-in-law, my grandbaby, they travel. They love to travel. They've got annual passes to Disney. My grandbaby's 18 months old. She's been to Disney four times. It's crazy, right? Now, about 2 months ago, they were over at Disney, and I got a text from my daughter, and it said OMG. And for those of you that are like my age or older, OMG stands for oh my God, right? Like they can't type out oh my God, it's got to be abbreviated. So I get a text from my daughter Morgan, OMG, Dad, I just saved $1,000 on your website. She called it my website, right? So $1,000 on a trip for 3 days in Orlando. They stayed at the Waldorf Astoria. She saved $1,000 in 3 days. A couple months later, just a few weeks ago, I got another text. OMG, Dad, another $600. They went down to St. Martin for the weekend. In 2 days or 3 days, 3 nights in St. Martin, they saved $600. Guys, this is wholesale pricing. So even at the platinum level, even if you don't have your four and you're actually paying for your membership each month at 175 a month, anybody that's doing any amount of traveling is going to be able to more than save, especially if you ever book any of those resort weeks, you're going to more than save the price that you're paying for this membership. So, you
I
know,
have two questions, Jake.
yep.
These are legitimate questions. So when I look at this slide that you have here, I don't see anywhere where it says the reward trip. Do all
Yeah.
three
Okay.
levels qualify for a reward trip at that same discount that's on there, or is it just the platinum to get that?
It's just the platinum that
Okay,
gets the reward trip. Okay.
great,
So, and I'm glad you brought that up. And all of you that are in right now, every single person that's already joined, you're already a platinum member, right? Because that was our
right.
only option. So at the end of 12 months, you get the exact the reward trip that we've been talking about. Now, moving forward, we actually, believe it or not, and we're going to announce this in London. But we are, and I didn't want to put it on here today because we don't have the final details worked out, but we have actually sweetened the pot just a little bit on the reward trip for the elite members. It's going to be more than just a trip, okay? And that's all I'm going to say today. But every single person that came in, that's in now, that's paying the 175, you get a reward trip at the end of your 12 months. After you pay your membership for 12 months, you're going on that trip that we've been talking about, that reward trip. And moving forward, I think we just sweetened it up a little bit even more for you guys. So I'm glad you brought that up. But we are very excited about this. I sent messages out to several different people when we got back, and this was our first traincation, right? So we wanted to make sure that we delivered a great experience. In my opinion, it was a 12 on a 10 scale. Like honestly, I know I'm biased. I love ELYT, but I think we hit every single aspect of it, and I think that everybody that was there really had an incredible time and saw incredible value. And all the people that I reached out to, I know Todd, Bob, and many others in the company, I said, hey, listen, this is our first trip, please, because the people that are here with us now, like to me, the people that are here now and the people that were here in the beginning, to me, we're like co-creating this together. Todd and Bob and I talk all the time. I mean, we've taken some of the stuff that you're looking at right here as an example. These came from the field. These were suggestions from some of our, early members that are with us now. So we're co-creating this together. So I wanted to know, like, honestly, like dead honest truth. What did you like? What if there was anything you didn't like? Is there anything you thought we could do better? And I will tell you that every single person I've talked to has expressed the fact that we far exceeded their expectations. So, yeah, I wanted to share those updates with you guys. If you have any questions about anything moving forward, you know how to get a hold of me. I know we're putting together. There's a lot of people I know here on Bob and Todd's team in San Antonio. Okay, we've got a great group going in San Antonio, and I am going to be back there in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We're coordinating the exact date right now. And in fact, we can figure that out today. But in the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'll be back in San Antonio to do another event. I'm here to help every single one of you. Okay. I mean, I am very committed to this. I'm an owner in the company, but, my partner DJ is the CEO and he's drawing a salary for his efforts. And believe me, there's nobody I know in this world working harder than that person right now
Nobody,
the last
nobody.
90 days. I mean, literally, I don't know. Alex said it the other day. He hasn't slept in 90 days, I don't think, but he's, my partner is the CEO, and even though I'm one of the owners, I'm in the field building a team. Okay. You guys are part of the team that I'm helping build here. So I'm here to help each and every one of you guys. Okay. So, in fact, let me put my phone number in the chat. How do I do this?
Jake, while you're doing that real quick, let me bump a couple more real quick things in here. Number one, on what Jake's just said about flying to Texas again to do another Super Saturday or whatever they're putting together down there, which is great. I want all of you to know you have that same opportunity. Ron Kitchens reached out to me the other day and said, "Hey, I'm trying to get a group of 100 people together. I think it was in Singapore. Well, one of the leadership show up. I reached out to Jake. He said he gets 100. I'll go to Singapore." I'm the same way. If you need me in your local community, you got a group of 25, 30 people that need a presentation, you can pipe me in over or Bob for that matter, over technology with the Zoom, or if an opportunity arises, I'll be more than happy to come out and spend time with you in person. Jake will travel too. So keep us abreast of the events you want to do. But on those curated trips, and I'm not talking about the signature getaways that we win, the rewards trip after you've been active for 12 months. Somebody on the bus the other day said, "Hey, there's an elite trip to Phuket, Thailand." And I said, "What? I haven't heard about this." They said, "Yeah, it's one of their special trips that they pre-curated for." So I went on and I looked. Jake, I don't even know if you know about this. You probably do. But this is the Twin Sands Escape, October 31 to November 7th, 8 days in Phuket, Thailand, which is one of the best places to snorkel and scuba dive in the world. This is literally on the very top of Julianne and I's travel, whatever you call that, bucket list. That in Australia were the top two. So we booked this while we were sitting in the bus in about 5 minutes. We're paying total for two of us to go 8 days in a one-bedroom unit, one king size bed, $1,299 for 8 days in Phuket, Thailand, in a gorgeous resort, beachfront. So, guys, these trips are no joke. I don't even know what that would have cost out there in the real world, but they're no joke. And I've mentioned this before because of my friendship with Jake. The back office engine of this platform is something that he's had access to for how many years? 38 years or whatever, Jake. And his buddy Paul Curry, who's a friend of mine as well, who was with us in Jamaica. So I was working on coming up with my own travel platform. I had a thing I wanted to do because Julianne and I love travel. We get at least 1 to 2 weeks every month on the road since we've known each other. And that's been some of it's been business, a lot of it's been pleasure. That said, I got the username and password for a demo site, and Bob and I have traveled on this together twice, I think. Julianne and I have gone another 7 or 8 trips on this, and the savings have been like instead of 449 a night, it was 179 a night when we went to the Inverness in Colorado. Bob, I don't remember the exact numbers when we went up to Ronkonkoma in New York for that event, but it was like $75 off of the internet price per night, and we were there for 5 nights or whatever it was. So the membership starts paying for itself if you travel a little bit. If you travel a lot, between I'm paying whatever it is, 175 plus the $17 to be an affiliate. By the way, do the platinum and the silver, I'm sorry, do the gold and the silver have ability to earn income?
Oh yeah, all of them.
All
Yeah,
of them. So they can all add the $17 IBO on, and all of them can earn money in the comp plan.
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
correct.
could you do me a favor, Don, if y'all
Yeah,
don't mind? Let me just kind of summarize real
go
quick.
for it.
Uh, put up the chart again,
Okay, hang
okay?
on 1 second. I
And
shut I
because
shut my thing down on accident.
I know a lot of people, may not be in love with travel like Todd and Julianne in, or we're not either. But we love to travel to be with the people we work with and we succeed with. But I know everyone's interested in making money. That's why they're here. And so what I want to do is this. When they launch on June 2nd, what you see here, and a couple of I've asked for a couple of corrections to be done, but that elite platinum is what we got. The first month they join, they pay $250. If they come gold, they pay the one-time
150.
fee of $150. If they silver, they're 49. Now this competes with any platform that's in existence in the marketplace today. Understand, other travel companies are out there, but now none of them compete with us. Okay, because what I'm about to tell you is not only did we get that fast start bonus, and that's with every one of these. Okay, you get 75 at platinum, you get 50 at gold, you get 25 at silver. That's everybody you enroll, no matter when. Any one of them, you get four that are paying, and you pay no more. Meaning you don't pay that $175. You get four elite platinums. You're not going to be charged that $175 every month,
Right.
but you get paid. You still get paid in comp plan. Now, here's the cool thing. The elite platinum, to just kind of keep it in mind, I want to add another thing down there at the bottom, two more things. I want to add that annual trip, and I want to add points. Okay. So under elite platinum, you get 1 point. Okay. One active. remember in our comp plan, it's active. So ELYT, 1 active. ELYT Gold, you get a half point. So it's half active. Under ELYT Silver, it's a quarter point. Now, I want you to throw up the comp plan, Tom.
It's on the page. I'm sharing it.
Okay. I want you
Oh,
to,
the comp plan. I'm
the
sorry.
comp plan. I want you to show up
You
the
got to
comp.
give me a minute to get that up. Hang on.
I want our people, especially a lot of people who've been with us for a while, they're familiar with binaries. And I want people to hear me loud and clear. You know my background in binary comp plans in this industry. There is no binary comp plan that pays more than this company, period, end, zero. And they're sacrificing by giving all this at wholesale, all these extra crudos. In Louisiana, we call it lanyap. So all the extra travel, all the extra car, all the extra stuff, that's lanyap. Who's giving up on that?
Yeah.
ELYT company is giving up their profitability and they're giving up to us so they can pay this kind of comp plan. Okay. Now, you get your 4. Okay. You're going to put 2 on one side and 1 on the other side. Doesn't matter what. Well, you get your 4. Guess what? You've got 2 and 2 active just with your own. But if you help them get their 4 and you're not paying that $175 more, you help them get their 4. Now, everybody understand that $175 a month is a point. So you get 3 on your left team, 3 on your right team. Doesn't matter if it's overflow or gifts from above or gifts from below, you're going to get $250 a month. Well, if you get your 4 and you're not paying $175 a month, now you're making $250 in profit every month. That's pretty cool. You help your people get theirs. Now look at this, guys and gals. To become a Builder Pro now is just as simple as it can ever get. And you get yourself up to $500 extra a month and you're not paying $175. You got an ELYT free vacation at the end of the year. And yeah, they're going to be coming out with this. But if you are doing and you downgrade, you cheapen your bit. Every business takes money to make money. We're not talking about a lot of money here. $250, get in and get started. Give yourself 2 years to succeed.
Man, and only 175 a month.
And only 175 a month. That's right. I don't care what industry in network marketing, you're going to spend $175 to $200 a month, period, anyway, no matter what company you're in.
Just to drive back and forth to the office.
Well, anyway, here's the real key. If you want to look at it at its lowest level, that 3 and 3 now becomes 12 and 12, y'all. That's what you got to have to get that $250.
At the silver level.
At the silver level, right.
At the silver, that's what I said. At the silver level, that becomes 12 and 12. I want you to understand how people get, but you know, what they're doing is making a global business. People in Jamaica can't afford $175 a month. People in Thailand can't afford. People in Malaysia, people in Poland, people in the Philippines, people in a lot of countries around the world. Okay. But now we really have a true go. But if you're a gold, that becomes 6 and 6 there. But if you're a platinum, it's still 3 and 3. Now just walk up the line, what you need to do. When you put the beginnings of what this company has and this comp plan together, and here's the coup de grace as far as I'm concerned. I've been in 4 ground floor opportunities. This is my 5th. One of them didn't get off out of the 4. I've never talked about that one. Okay. But I was a consultant in that one. And I had to join because I was their consultant. But the places that I've been ground floor at, our team always rose to the top. What we have with this opportunity, with this amount of credentials and experience leading this team, and with the commitment of this company and its founders and members to become the elite travel company of the world, you have the greatest opportunity of your lifetime to be in a ground floor opportunity. Allow yourself the opportunity to succeed. But remember how we started this off in the introductions of the people with Alex, Jake, and other members. Paul, y'all haven't met Paul, but
Bart.
DJ, one thing I've learned in this whole industry, and you've heard it here, but I want to tell you the key is no matter what education I had, what experience and what knowledge I had to succeed in industry, Jim Rome was my mentor. To succeed or things to change, you must change. If you've been in network marketing before and you haven't ever made it, this is your opportunity. But take it upon yourself to learn from the greats. And they don't even have to be doing network marketing. You can get Jim Rome for free, which I paid tens of thousands of dollars for all of his stuff. It's free on the internet now. Okay. And he's one of the greatest. And it it has no time limits on it, because what you're doing is you're improving yourself. And when you improve yourself, you will change.
When you get better, things get better, right?
When you get better, things get better. Look,
That's a law of
thanks for letting me
attraction.
do that. But
That's-
I just wanted to,
Yeah.
kind of bring this down to the point that, the comp plan is also a major factor of this. And you don't really have to love traveling like Todd and Julianne. Okay. And I love it that they love it. But if I was younger, I probably would. But you know what I do like when Pamela and I go, we get to intermingle with everyone there. The greatest experience we had was to be able to mix and mingle with everyone there from all around the world and meet people and see people that are experiencing success, and you miss that opportunity. And some of these people, you say, wow, man, look at these young people. How in the world did they do that from the country that they're in?
Right. You know, that's
You
actually
can,
a good point on that, Bob. We were just having a conversation with a couple the other day, and their answer was, "We only travel that much." And my response was, "Fantastic. Look at the compensation plan. Do you know people that travel?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think you know 15 or 30 people that travel?" Maybe not. But do the people that you know that travel maybe also know other people that travel? And they said, "Well, of course." I said, "Well, if you can get to 15 and 15 and earn $1,000 a month, don't ever take the vacation. Could you use the extra $1,000 every 4 weeks?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, then this is a no-brainer again. You're going to earn a free trip at the end of the year. If you don't want to take it, don't go, but you still got $13,000 in the bank." And they're like, "That's a good point." So you don't have to be traveling once a month or once every 2 weeks or whatever, like Julianne and I do. But if you're going to go on one trip a year, this is a no-brainer. Spend $200 a month, 175 plus a 17 for the affiliate tag, the IBO. So 192 plus tax, call it $200. It's billed every 28 days. So you're going to make 13 payments on that. Call it 2,600 bucks. And you're going to get a curated trip at the end of the year to go 7 days in the Maldives, or 5 days all inclusive in Cancun, or go on a cruise to Antarctica, or whatever. I don't know where you cruise to. But that curated trip at the end of the year, you're just prepaying for it. And we never talk about this because we're not CPAs. This isn't tax advice. But because you have that affiliate tag bolted on, you have all these tax advantages of having a home-based business. So you can write things like your membership off and your monthly payments off, and if you're going to travel and book an airfare and rent a car and whatever. So at the end of the year, you paid $2,600. That's a tax deduction. You're letting the IRS, the money you used to send there, go to help you put more money in your pocket or travel more. Take your pick. It's a great opportunity, guys. I hope you see what we see here. Jake, you got anything else in wrapping up?
No, I just, for those of you that might be guests and just have been hanging in here with us again, I appreciate you taking some time this morning. This is not our typical presentation because it included a lot of updates, to some of our members. But I just invite you guys to take a serious look at what we're doing, understand what we're doing. If you have questions, get the questions answered. Because again, I'll say it again, we're building the largest travel community in the world. We're going to change a lot of lives. We're going to have some fun. We're going to create some financial independence for people. And I think this is a perfect opportunity for somebody that's looking for an additional income, looking for something that could eventually turn into a full-time income for you. It's a great deal for somebody that just loves to travel, that doesn't want to work the business. So get your questions answered, jump in here with us. And, like I tell people all the time, life is short, right? We never know when the end is coming. So book the damn trip. That's what I say. Okay.
Amen to that.
All right.
Amen to that. Again, thank you guys all for coming today. This has been an absolute pleasure to have this group, almost 60 people here at one point today, a little over 50 right now. And as Jake said, if you've got questions, reach out to myself, Bob Reed, whoever invited you here. Somebody just put something in the chat I want to read here. Ronnie and Max said our new slogan. Julianne and I have been working on one too that we kind of stole from somebody that was on the trip. We're massaging it a little bit still, but basically, when somebody asks what we do now, I don't work for Elite Travel. That's not what I do. I sell fun, and we get paid to help people make memories. Something like that is going to be what we tell people as our opening conversation icebreaker, whatever. And the person that told me that said the next question is, well, what do you mean you sell fun? Well, how does that work? And that opens the door for a great conversation and an opportunity of what I see as a lifetime. Hey, Jake, real quick, um, are you allowed to say who you used to be with in the travel industry, the big company that you were affiliated with? I don't want to put
Sure.
you on the spot.
Yeah, sure. It's no secret. World Ventures. So
Okay.
back in 2013, I owned uh, a different network marketing company, and we sold our company and merged our team in with World Ventures.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, the last year they were in business, they had something like $950 million in sales or something like that, right?
Not their last year in business, but
Or
close to
peak.
it. Okay. In
Okay.
2016, they did $980 million in annual revenue, and it's a long story. Okay, I won't get into what happened,
That's
but
all right.
some
I'm going
very, very,
somewhere.
very unfortunate bad decisions, et cetera. A couple years later, the company, was struggling in bankruptcy, but they did a lot of things right. And I will say this: I was there. I was one of the top 10 earners there. I traveled the world with Mark Cassetta training all over the world. I got a inside, like as inside as I could possibly be, insight to that, as did Mark Cassetta, who you guys met this weekend. And he and I and DJ, we know as well as anybody every single thing that company did right. Okay. And we know what the decisions they made to cause their demise. Okay. And so it's real simple. We're going to take a lot of the things that we learned from that company and we're going to duplicate massive success. We're going to do it better and we're going to do it bigger.
Patrick Wendell said, I had a decent sized team at World Ventures for over 12 years. Mark Cassetta is the absolute best in the industry, period. I've never heard Mark Cassetta speak before this last weekend. I need to find a way to be around that guy a lot. And I know YouTube is the best way to start doing that for free. You guys, those names we've thrown out today, Alex Morton, Mark Cassetta, Jim Rohn, John Maxwell. If you can't afford to hire a coach and pay $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month or $50,000 for a 1 hour phone call with some of these people, jump on YouTube and start working on your personal development. That's what Julianne and I made a big decision coming out of this trip. And that was no more doom scrolling, no more sitting watching stupid things on Netflix, no more sitting staring out the window and wondering why things aren't better in our life. We walk every day for 2 or 3 miles at least back and forth down the street that we live on. And instead of just talking about whatever there is to BS about walking up and down the street, We had a Jim Rohn on. We've had a Marcusetta on. So I want you guys to really understand for free the opportunity that you have to hear from some of these greats and learn is unparalleled. Bob didn't have that opportunity. He had to buy a $20 book or go spend $10,000 to be next to Jim Rohn for a few days. But Jake Kevorkian said something to me on a call way back in the beginning about World Ventures. And that as he just said, he's very humble about it, but one of the top 10 earners. In case you guys don't know, that's a lot of dough in that business. There was a lot of money made by those people because it was a great business. They did a lot of things right. But Jake, you said something. What was their comp plan like compared to this one?
Well, their comp plan was horrible. Not compared to this one or compared to just any other company out there. And by the way, like Bob, I've got a pretty good, probably not, well, I shouldn't say probably. My understanding of comp plans is not at the level Bob is. But I will say this, I understand comp plans better than most. And when we made a decision to sell our company to World Ventures and merge with that company, we knew going in that it was not a good compensation plan. However, that said, they got so many other things right, like the curated trips that we're talking about. And Marcusetta, I mean, in my opinion, Marcusetta was single-handedly had more responsible was more responsible for their success than anybody else. We've got him on our team, like you just said. But the compensation plan over there, to give you an idea, as Bob pointed out a minute ago, if you have three platinums left and three platinums right, you're making $250 per month residual income. At World Ventures, you had to be 90 people on your left and 90 people on your right to earn your first residual check. And I think it was only $200. So compared to our compensation plan or any other compensation plan in the entire industry, it was horrible by any standard. Okay. Um, they were probably honestly, and I know this because again, we had an opportunity to really audit their books before we did this merger with them. They were paying out nothing compared to us. Okay. So the comp plan didn't compare. They didn't have Alex Morton. Okay. They didn't have the number one producing rep in this entire world, Alex Morton. They had Marcusetta. We've got Marcusetta. So we've got a better compensation plan by far. We've got Alex Morton and some of the incredible, not just Alex too, but you guys had an opportunity to see some of the young leadership from
Oh
all
yeah.
over the world that came with him. Guys, I'm telling you, and you might be sitting here going, what does that mean to me? How do I benefit from Alex Morton? How do I benefit from this leadership? The way you benefit, and it's hard to explain because it really isn't intangible, but they bring an energy to this company and they bring an insight to this company that is an intangible that we all benefit from, right? You all have the ability to benefit from that and plug people into their presentations and go and listen and learn from them. And Alex has an incentive to help every single person in this company. In fact, I've already talked to him. I'm coming to this, and I'll keep saying San Antonio because there's just a lot of people on here from San Antonio. But I'm coming to do that event in San Antonio, and then the next time I come back, I'm bringing Alex with me. So, we have something that is very special here, right? And I think that those of you that latch onto it, that lock arms with us, that go to work, you're going to look back in a couple of years and you're going to be glad you did. That's all I'll say.
And by the way, Alex Morton, I don't want to say the number because we're not making any income claims here. It's not what this is all about. So this is going to be recorded and posted. Hard work is how you get places in the network marketing business. It's not a get rich quick kind of scheme. And results are going to vary based on how hard you will work. Okay, so I want to make that real clear. But Alex Morton has made hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 16 years in network marketing. The number is big. It's I can't even comprehend it big, to be honest. And what I want to say is this: he looked me in the eye. I'm gonna do this because I can't see my eyes with my glare on. He said, "Todd, I got one run in me and I'm done. I don't ever have to work again. I don't need to do any of this. I made a lot of money, made some great investments, but I'm going to put my name to one more company, and we're either going to be the best network marketing company that has ever existed in the world, or I'm going to die trying to get it there." And I I don't have any reason to doubt this man. I've seen what he's been capable of doing. Him, his wife, beautiful person, some of their top leadership. They've got great couples around them. But there's a guy from Mexico. I forget his name. Do you remember what his name is, Jake?
Yeah, I know for sure. Ivan Tapia.
Ivan Tapia.
He's the
He,
number one producing rep ever in South America.
yeah, in the Latin culture, he has made more money than all of them. And he followed whose plan? Alex Morton's. Alex has been able to teach this replication process. And by the way, we're not talking about somebody that was born into millions of dollars in Mexico. Wait, what do you say was from? Oh, begins with a J, right underneath the border. Everybody will know the Tijuana. He's from Tijuana, Mexico, which is like the poorest of the poorest of the poorest part of Mexico. Ridiculous. I've been there. It's horrible. He came from nothing and became a millionaire just a couple of years later in network marketing because he changed his mindset and he followed somebody who knew what they were doing. And instead of having all the answers and all the pride and all the arrogance and all the excuses, he said, "You tell me what to do, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do exactly what you tell me to do." And he did that. Talking to these people at these events, guys, is mind changing. So again, I sit here with my excuse. Oh, I don't have enough hair. I'm a little overweight. I didn't get born into a great family either, and I got debt, and whatever the things are. Excuse, excuse, excuse. I realize, you know what? If that man can do it or that woman can do it, so can Todd Collins. God is not someone who plays favorites. All of us are his children. You do got to do some things right. Align yourself with him and his word. Keep yourself straight. Be working on yourself, but he will reward you for hard work. He's not going to punish you for trying hard. And if he puts a vision and a dream inside your heart to do more than you've ever done, he'll give you the ability to do it if you'll put the work in. And with that, I'm done. Bob, you got any last words as we roll out of here?
Oh, just the infamous three that we all learned from Jim Rohn and every leader. If you got that burning desire and you are willing to do the work and you're coachable and teachable, you're at the right place at the right time with the right company, with the right comp plan, and the right leadership team. Go get it because the world's at your feet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
guys.
Thank you guys for coming. I told you we keep this as short as possible. Ran a little longer than I promised, but hey, I think you got your time and your money's worth today. Jake, thank you so much for being here and taking time out of your Saturday. For those of you who are normally on my Saturday call, I'm probably going to do a quick presentation and then do some of this recap as well. So please, if you had somebody who couldn't come here now, join us back at 2 Eastern time. Bring a guest. We'll be here again. I love you guys. Have a great weekend, and let's just have some fun together, guys. Let's sell fun and make memories. Get paid to do it. Have a great weekend. Goodbye. Do me a favor, please. Do yourself a favor. If you're doing anything goofy, using the bathroom, putting on your makeup, wandering around your yard, feeding your chickens, whatever, please put your video on mute so we don't see anything we don't want to see on the recording. Just as a point of note, it's very distracting for whoever's talking to see movement happening all over the screen. So if you got stuff that you're doing, that's completely cool. We're glad you're here listening in. But just put yourself on video off and make sure your mute stays on mute. We've had weird things happen in the past. People took us in the bathroom. We got to see things we didn't want to. We had a woman walk by behind her husband who was getting dressed and she wasn't dressed. So these are always recorded. Don't be that person that ends up on the highlight reel that we end up having to figure out a way to blur that or whatever. All right, Jake, you about ready over there?
Ready when you are, brother.
Bob, you ready over there?
Right, sir.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody at the same time. Jake, you and Bob come back off mute, please, so that you're able to talk. There we go. And let's go.